الحمد لله نحمده حمدا كثيرا طيبا كما يستحق كل محامد والذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق وبلغ رسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وجاهد في الحق جهاده ترك الأمة على البيضاء ليلها كنهارها ولا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك صلى الله على نبينا وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد طيب يا إخوان أبدأ طيب last week we spoke about what was the topic we discussed last week. Come to the front, inshallah. It's empty space here. Fill the space here. What did we discuss last week? What was the topic?
We talked about ghiba and when it's halal to backbite, for example, ahlul bid'ah, proposals.
Okay, mashallah. So we spoke about a few things and we spoke about siwak as well. Did we spoke about siwak?
Yes.
Okay, tayyib. Ya akhi, were you here last week? No. What was the two people getting punishment for? When Prophet was walking with, the two people were punished. What was the reason?
One of them
And the other one?
tail
Tail carrier. MashaAllah. طيب. Where did this took place? أين حصل هذا? Where did Prophet go? Which part of Medina? Where was it? The Maqbara. Where is it? The Maqbara. Where Prophet heard two punishment of the grave. Which grave was that? No. Baqi. Baqi. No. It was in Baqi. Yeah. طيب. Namima, tail carriers. What's the ruling of Namima?
It's a major sin.
Why the major sin?
Because there's a punishment attached to it.
What was the punishment?
The punishment of the grave.
What is the punishment? What's the hadith?
About the leaf, the
Oh,
Prophet.
so that's one of the hadith. So based on this hadith, it's major sin because they're punished for namima. What hadith are you going to say as well? Okay. لا يدخل الجنة النمام. The tail carrier will never enter Jannah. What does it mean? He's not going to enter anymore. Khalas. He's going to stay in Jannah forever.
If he's a mu'min,
Jahannam.
he'll be punished in hellfire, and then he'll be taken.
طيب. So here, when Prophet threatened with the fire, I mean that he will be in the hell for some time, then he will come out from the hellfire because Muslims. Okay, but he's threatened with the fire, the tail carriers. That's why this person getting punished in the grave. And the other person did not cover himself. He did not clean himself from the istinja, from the urine. He did not do istinja properly. Naam. So what's the difference between namima and ghiba?
Ghiba is bima yakrah. Speak about your brother that which he doesn't like, even if it's true. And namima is like spreading tales.
Okay.
It's like false. It's not true, like slander.
Okay. Is ghiba, backbiting, major sin or minor sin?
Major sin.
Major sin. It's true. But do you have the evidence? Can you mention it? أخي غيبة كبيرة من كبائر الذنوب. دليل ما هو الدليل؟ anything Quran, Hadith. ميتا كرهتموه. That's one of them. And the Hadith, Prophet Muhammad Asra. لما أسري برسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في الجنة. He was seen, isn't it? He saw a group of people getting punished. Yeah. What was the punishment? Do you remember?
Yeah, they were scratching their faces with their nails.
Yeah, and the chest.
Yeah.
So what was the answer given by the Malaika?
They talk about people.
Yeah, yakhtab. They were basically eating the flesh of their brothers. So this adab showed this. When the adab is attached to the sin, shows that this sin is major sin. Yeah, so backbiting, tail carriers, these are all major sins. طيب, then we spoke about ikhwan wa akhwat, we spoke about siwak. Siwak, I know I'm not going to ask you inshallah, just Okay, siwak. Give me a hadith about siwak. MashaAllah, he's doing siwak now, MashaAllah. We're just about to talk about the topic.
Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned that purifies your mouth and is pleasing to Allah.
MashaAllah. Siwak, matharatu lifam wa mardati lirab. It purifies your mouth and it makes Allah happy. MashaAllah. Tayyib. What is the ruling of siwak? Wajib, sunnah, sunnah. Tayyib. What was the hadith we covered? The first hadith of this chapter. What is it?
If it wasn't that it would be difficult for my ummah, I would have made them use the siwak before every salah.
Every salah, every wudu as well. لولا أن أشق على أمتي لأمرتم بالسواك عند كل صلاة وفي رواية عند كل وضوء. That if it wasn't burden from ummah, we would have commanded them to use the miswak before every salah and every wudu. So this is based on this hadith. They say that siwak is sunnah. طيب. Continue with this hadith, inshallah. In this hadith, Prophet ﷺ, he did not make the siwak wajib because of his mercy, rafaqa, compassionate for the ummah. As we know, the Prophet ﷺ, his character was to care for the ummah, isn't it? We have many hadiths and ayah in the Quran that Prophet ﷺ kan haris, he was basically wanted good for the ummah, for them to come to the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, to practice the deen. Look in the Surah Al-Kahf, Allah described Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah said, فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعُ نَفْسَكَ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ أَلَّا يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا إِلَّا يُؤْمِنُوا بِهَذَا الْحَدِيثِ أَسَفًا. Now in Surah Al-Kahf, Allah said that فَلَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعُ means, the ulama says, in the translation it said maybe you want to kill yourself, but he's a muhlik, you want to destroy yourself. When the people, they hear your athar, your hadith, they do not want to believe it. So Prophet ﷺ had this bad feeling when the people don't accept his da'wah, okay? Because he has rahmah for the people. Okay, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And we haven't sent you except mercy for the believers, for the creation. So Prophet ﷺ had this mercy. He wants everyone to be guided. He wants everyone to become Muslim, okay? And he wants easy for the people. And the deen is ease, not difficult. It's ease. And you know, one hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, you know, the boy came to the masjid and he urinated in the masjid. And they want to beat him up. The Prophet said, let him finish it. Okay? And then he said to the companions, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُمْ مُيَسِّرِينَ وَلَمْ تُبْعَثْ مُعَسِّرِينَ. That indeed you are sent as to make things easy, not difficult. Okay? Another hadith said, يَسِّرُوا وَلَا تُعَسِّرُوا بَشِّرُوا وَلَا تُنَفِّرُوا. That make easy, don't make it difficult. Okay? Make people happy, don't make the people flee away. Okay? So Prophet ﷺ had this rafaqa, mercy for the people. So this hadith, because of the mercy the Prophet had for the ummah, he said, it's going to be burden for them. He said, I'm not going to make it wajib on them, because I don't want them to go through burden, difficulties. You know? يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah wants ease, not difficult. So, mashaqqa, hadith says, لَوْلَا أَنْ أَشُقَّ. Mashaqqa is a burden. Now the mashaqqa is something that Islam teaches us, that we should learn about. And the ahkam of Shari'iyya changes based on the mashaqqa, based on the difficulties. Okay? The ahkam is not same as the one who's healthy and one is not healthy. Okay? One is not difficult and one is difficult. The ahkam changes. So for example, if I'm healthy, I can pray standing up, I have to pray standing up. If there's someone can't pray standing up, mashaqqa is burden, he can't stand up, he's got leg injury, whatever, then he prays sitting down. So mashaqqa is something the ulama says, that because of this mashaqqa difficulties, the ulama, they came up with a qa'ida. Okay, and the qa'ida is, al-mashaqqa tajlibu taysir. Mashaqqa brings ease. Okay, so I gave you one of the examples. Okay, hadith says, صلوا قائما فإن لم تستطع فقاعدا ومن لم يستطع على جنب. The pray standing up command. If you can't, then pray sitting down. If you can't pray sitting down, pray lying down. Mashaqqa, isn't it? Your hal has changed from one stage to another stage. Okay, so Prophet said, because of your mashaqqa, I'm not going to make you wajib. Okay, now mashaqqa, a different level of mashaqqa. For example, if someone first month of Ramadan, first day is Ramadan, and he comes in the morning, I've got bad stomach. Mashaqqa tajlibu taysir. Can I break my fast? You know what I'm saying? No, you can't. So the ulama says mashaqqa different levels. Okay, first type of mashaqqa ma'a darar. Okay, mashaqqa bil darar. Burden, difficulty with harm. Shanqiti talks about that as well. That is somebody life in danger. Your mashaqqa in state that your life is in danger. Okay, life and death. That's when haram becomes halal for you to save your life. That's where another qa'idah comes. ضرورية تبيح المحظورات. The necessity makes haram halal for you because the mashaqqa, burden, I have to survive. So what is daruriya? Another definition of daruriya now. So we talk about daruriya, necessity. Necessity, this is what the ulama said. See, daruriya is أن العبد إن الضرورية هو ما أصاب العبد بضرر لا يقام مقامه. That a slave of Allah is afflicted with difficulties and he has no other way to fall back to. So even in a desert and you've got no food to eat, there's no other way except to eat the pig. You've got nothing to fall back to. You're going to die. Mashaqqa. Okay? So you have to eat that pig to save your life. Okay? That's it. So the haram becomes halal for that moment because you have to eat. Okay? So the ulama says that daruri have to be higher than the mahdurat. So daruri is a necessity, mahdurat is the sin that you're going to commit. So saving your life is greater than eating the pig, isn't it? Saving your life is greater than drinking the alcohol. So save your life by doing that. Okay? But if they both are equal, you don't do it. You leave it. For example, can you kill somebody? Can you kill somebody to save your life? The person you're going to kill is more righteous than you are. The ulama say, no, you can't do that because mafsada is great. Okay, so scholars have spoken about it. But at least we can say that daruri you have to be greater than the mahdurat, the sin that you're going to commit. So that's mashaqqa. This is a darar, this is a harm. Okay, that someone can face. In that situation, that's what he does. And I want to add something else. You go daruriyat and you go haja. Haja is ma asaba al-abd bi dararin wa yuqam maqamahu. That a slave is afflicted by harm, okay, difficulties, but he can fall back to something. That's haja, that's need. The Sa'd al-Shitri, when I was talking about this, he goes, people need to differentiate between the daruri and the haja. Someone can buy a house, or it's a daruriya, but maybe a haja, it's not a daruriya. Your situation is not daruriya, might be haja, a need. So you could differentiate between daruri and haja. Daruri is something that you can know where to fall back to. You're going to die. That's what it is. Tayyib, so mashaqqa, that's one of the type of mashaqqa. Mashaqqa, the second type is the mashaqqa not bil darar, bil haraj. Mashaqqa bil haraj. Haraj is difficulty. Okay? That you can bear it. You can bear it, not a problem. For example, you can bear the burden. For example, fasting while you're as a traveler. Okay? It is not a fear that you're going to die. But if you're going to fast while you're traveling, okay, the hadith says you can fast or you can leave. Nothing wrong with that. But scholars have said that if you fast while you're a traveler, and if you think that it's going to be a situation that you can become ill, there's something says it can be haram for you to fast. But if you just fast and there's a burden in it, nothing wrong with that. Because in ibadat, every a'mal is a mashaqqa. Okay? Pray 5 times a day is mashaqqa. Okay? Making wudu, going to the masjid, getting for fajr, they're all burden. Because the hadith says, the Jannah, haffatil Jannah makarihi. That Jannah will be surrounded with difficulties. Okay? Jannah will be surrounded with the difficulties. And Jahannam will be surrounded with comfort. Okay? So when you go Jannah, you look at the difficulties. So when we worship Allah Azza wa Jal, okay, doing what Allah said and leaving what Allah forbade, there is a difficulty in that. Makarih. Okay? There's difficulty in that. Being consistent in worship of Allah Azza wa Jal. It's not easy, it's difficult. There's a mashaqqa in that, but this mashaqqa, it's difficulty, we can bear it. Okay? So if someone says that, oh, I've got stomach problem, I'm going to break the fast, mashaqqa tajlu taysir. No, this mashaqqa you can bear it. It's not something that is going to kill you. You know? So there are different level of mashaqqa that we face in our life. So one of them, so this mashaqqa here, which mashaqqa is this? The first one, the second one. Is the second one. It's not a life-saving thing. If Prophet were to command and make you wajib, you're not going to die out of it. No, it's not a fear of life and death. It just it's hard. It'll be hard on them. But you can manage. People can manage it. But even then, he said, no, I'm not going to. Because he had a choice of making wajib. He had a choice of not making wajib. He decided not to make wajib. Okay. And if he did make wajib, if you can pray 5 times a day, make wudu 5 times a day. What can we do siwak 5 times a day? We could have done it, but Prophet didn't make wajib because he felt it's going to be a burden for them. And I don't want my ummah to go through the burden. Tayyib, and we know Prophet ﷺ is rahmatul alameen, mercy for the mankind. So that's the qa'idah we've learned today. Mashaqqa tajlubu taysir, burden brings ease. So you can give many examples. Mashaqqa, if you're in a hospital and you are placed a certain way, you can't change your leg. You Qibla this way, but you face it that way. Your leg is broken, you can't turn nothing. You face the way you are. You pray the way you are. Mashaqqa tajlibu taysir. Okay? Also, if you haven't got water, if you can't touch water because you're ill, mashaqqa tajlibu taysir, make tayammum. So this is the rule, principle we need to know, inshallah, so it will make it easy for us. So this hadith, we've covered it, but I just want to add a bit more on mashaqqa, because mashaqqa is something that change our ahkam of shar'iyya, isn't it? Mashaqqa, burden, change our situation of the ruling of individual. Some ruling can change because of the burden that he's going through. طيب إخوان. طيب next hadith ثامن عشر, hadith number 18, hadith حذيفة بن يمان رضي الله عنه قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا قام من الليل يشوص فاه بالسواك, رواه Bukhari and Muslim. طيب, Hudayfa radiallahu anhu was one of the companions. He was born in Mecca, lived in Medina as well. And he was given a title known as Sirr al-Sahaba, or Sahaba Sirr, meaning that he had knowledge of secret things the Prophet gave him. So one of the secret things that he had, that Hudayfa radiallahu anhu had, that you know, the munafiqun in Medina, nobody knew except Prophet, and the Prophet told Hudayfa radiallahu anhu all the name of the munafiqun in Medina. Nobody knew. That was secret, and that's sir. Sir is something secret. He had that knowledge. The Prophet gave it to him. And when the scholar talk about Hudayfa, they talk about this important matter here. And he was someone close to Prophet ﷺ, someone he trusted, and he had knowledge of all the hypocrites in Medina. Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu anhu knew that Hudayfa had the name of all the hypocrites in Medina. He knew it. So Umar, look at the piety of Umar radiallahu anhu, Amir al-Mu'mineen. Obviously, this happened when Rasulullah was alive. He came to Hudayfa radiallahu anhu and said, "Ya Hudayfa, Prophet told you all the name of the hypocrites in Medina. Did he mention my name to you?" He said, "No." Look at the fear that he had. You know, Amir al-Mu'mineen, look at the fear that he had. Ya Hudayfa, did Prophet mention to you my name as well? This is the taqwa. Taqwa make you like this. Don't think that if we say this, we feel low in front of Allah. It's fear of Allah that he had. He had to ask this to Hudayfa radiallahu anhu. Ibn Umar says that if someone dies in Medina, I follow Hudayfa. But he knows all the munafiq. If he doesn't go, I don't go. Because he knows the person. So Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, one of the noble Sahabi radiallahu anhu, he narrated this hadith that he said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he woke up from night, min al-layl, يشوص فاه بالسواك. He will do siwak. He will do kind of yastak. He will use the miswak. What does yashusu mean? Some say that dallaka, to rub the teeth with the miswak. Some said yunaqi, tanqiya, to purify it. Some say ghusl, to wash it. But all the ulama, they mention all this, different meaning to it. But they said the most authentic one is that to rub the teeth with the miswak. Now, this hadith teaching us the Prophet when he stood in the night, that's tashahhud, tahajjud, naam, tahajjud. What is the ruling of tahajjud? The Prophet ﷺ, the ulama have mentioned to us that tahajjud was wajib upon Prophet ﷺ. As Allah said in the Quran, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ. Okay? From the night, you get up, make tahajjud, O Muhammad. And all the command that comes praying in the night, a command for Rasulullah. Okay? Command for Rasulullah to get up and pray. Tahajjud. And for rest of the mankind is sunnah. But for Prophet ﷺ was wajib for him, because he's Rasulullah, to keep his iman strong. So this hadith talking about tahajjud, that when Prophet stood up for tahajjud, he will use miswak to clean his mouth. Show the importance of siwak. Because when you wake up, your mouth smell changes, isn't it? So he would wake up and use siwak to make it smell nice. Now, tahajjud and qiyamul layl. Tahajjud, there's a difference between tahajjud and qiyamul layl. The ayah that I've quoted, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ, means that from the night make tahajjud. The ulama said that tahajjud only can be done if you go to sleep, then you wake up. As Baghawi said, and others. Tahajjud, you have to sleep, then you have to wake up. That's tahajjud. Qiyamul layl, you don't sleep. You can do that, but you can stay awake, and that can refer to anything. Quran, studying Islamic book, doing azkar. That's qiyamul layl. You stand in the night, meaning sitting, you don't go to sleep, you study your book, read the Quran, make azkar, make salah. That's called qiyamul layl. But tahajjud, specifically for salah. Specifically for salah, and you have to wake up from sleep and make wudu and stand for the night. That's tahajjud. So, this hadith, my brothers, is that shows that Prophet, any one of us, that it is sunnah to use siwak. Sometimes you can use a finger if you don't have siwak, because the illah is to remove the smell. So if you can use that, remove the smell, but the sunnah is to use the siwak. You won't fulfill the sunnah, but get rid of the germ from your mouth. So you can use the finger, but sunnah is to use the siwak, as Prophet did, to remove the germ from his mouth. The changes, the smell changes, and we should do that. Look in the hadith. This hadith says that man akala thawman aw basalan la yuqarribanna hadha al-masjid. That if you eat onion or garlic, do not come close to this masjid. This is haram, nahi. La yuqarribanna. None of you should come close to the masjid Nabawi, because the smell of the onion and garlic. It's not haram to eat onion and garlic. Because of the smell, don't come to the masjid, because you're going to make somebody else come pray. The smell. So, anything bad smell, odor, Islam forbids. Smell of your socks. Smell of when you smoke and the smell comes out and go to the masjid and the person next to you can't pray because of your smell. It's haram. Because of you are causing the smell. So Islam says, that's why smoking is haram, because not only killing yourself, it's bad smell as well. And the other smell as well. You know, we have to avoid this when you go to the masjid. So especially when you eat onion and garlic, ulama said, nahi means it's haram. Because the harm that you're going to do to the other people. So that's the Prophet ﷺ, when he woke up, because the smell changes, he used the miswak to make the mouth smell better. Also we have quoted the hadith in Sahih Muslim, hadith of Aisha, كان إذا دخل البيت يبدأ بالسواك. The Prophet ﷺ, whenever he comes to the house, before he goes to the house, he uses the miswak. If you want to go to his family, you want to smell nice. That's what it is. That's part of our deen, mashallah, you know. So miswak purifies your mouth, and it's pleasurable to Allah Azza wa Jal. We spoke about, do we use the right hand on the left hand for siwak? The scholars have different opinions. Some of the scholars have said that if you're going to use miswak like for tahajjud, then use it for left because you're removing the dirt. Okay, but if you're going to just use for sunnah, just use the right hand because it's pleasurable to Allah Azza wa Jal. So there's a khilaf on that among the scholars. So I think that's what Ibn Uthaymin says as well, rahimahullah. So this is the hadith of Hudayfa bin Yaman radiallahu anhu. This hadith is very small. We're not going to discuss very detailed, inshallah. So next hadith we're going to go to, inshallah. Hadith Tasi' Ashar. Hadith of Aisha hadith number 19. And Aisha radiallahu anha قالت دخل عبد الرحمن بن أبي بكر الصديق رضي الله عنهما على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأنا مسندته إلى صدري ومع عبد الرحمن سواك رطب يستن به فأبده رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بصره فأخذت السواك فقدمته طيبته ثم دفعته إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فاستن به فما رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم استنى استنانا أحسن منه فما عدا أن فرغ رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم رفع يده أو إصبعه ثم قال في الرفيق الأعلى ثلاثا ثم قضي عليه الصلاة والسلام. Okay, let me read this hadith inshallah in English. I've got the Umdatul in translation in English. I'm going to read that inshallah, so you better translation. طيب, it is narrated by Aisha radiallahu anha said, Abdurrahman bin Abi Bakr entered upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam while I was supporting the Prophet on my chest. Abdurrahman had a fresh siwak and he was cleaning his teeth with it. Allah's Messenger looked at it, so I took the siwak from Abdurrahman, I chewed it with my teeth, shook it and made it soft with water, and then I gave it to the Prophet ﷺ. He cleaned it his teeth with the siwak. I had never seen, Aisha saying that, I had never seen Allah's Messenger ﷺ cleaning his teeth in a better way. After finishing the brushing of the teeth, he lifted his hand, so he finished his siwak, he gave it back, then he lifted his hand and his finger and he said, "Oh Allah, let me be with the highest companion," and then he died. Alayhi salam. Aisha used to say, he died while his head was resting between my chest and chin. He died. The lead that Prophet passed away. Okay, so this hadith is clearly teaching us that basically Abdurrahman, the blood brother of Aisha radiallahu anha, he came to Prophet to see him, and while he was resting on the chest of Aisha, and the Prophet was looking at Aisha on the siwak, and what happened is that Aisha realized the Prophet wanted the siwak, so he took it from Abdurrahman, and he cut off whatever was there, and she made it softer and gave it to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he did siwak. He cleaned his mouth. Subhanallah, Prophet is about to die and he's using the siwak. Shows the importance of siwak. Subhanallah, you know. So he did the siwak, and if in a way no one could have done that, as Aisha radiallahu anha described. The Prophet was use the siwak to clean his mouth. After that, he gave the siwak back, and the Prophet raised his hand, Rafiq al-A'la, the highest companion. He wanted to meet Allah Azza wa Jal, and after that, Allah took his Prophet away. But the important thing is that he died on my chest. So the another hadith says, توفي رسول الله بين نحري و basically another hadith said the Prophet died on my chest, between my chest and my upper chest. That's where the Prophet died, and he was buried in my house. So it's another hadith. So we established the proof the Prophet did pass away based on this hadith based on the narration of Aisha and Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. And you have mentioned that this part of our Aqidah belief that the Prophet passed away, alayhi salam. So this hadith shows what? Importance of siwak, that we should use miswak, inshallah, to keep our mouth clean, and and secondly we can just use for the pleasurable to Allah Azza wa Jal, to make Allah happy, okay, to make Allah happy Azza wa Jal. So these hadiths are very short hadiths. We're not going to take too long in this hadith. Here basically Bassam, he brings some of the benefits of the hadith. So Sheikh Bassam said that فَلَمَّا رَأَى النَّبِيُّ صلى الله عليه وسلم سواك مع عبد الرحمن لم يشغله عنه ما هو فيه من المرض ونزع. When Prophet saw the siwak that Abdul Rahman was carrying, he forgot about his pain. The pain did not keep him busy. He wanted the siwak. Min mahabbati lahu, because of the love that he has for siwak. فَمَدَّ إِلَيْهِ بَصْرَهُ. He was looking at the siwak. Madda basrahu, when he was looking at the siwak, I want the siwak, give it to me. So Aisha radiallahu anha looked at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah was looking at the siwak. She realized that you want the siwak. Okay, then she took the siwak from her brother Abdul Rahman, and she did what she did, gave it to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Karraghib fihi, he desiring for it. فأخذ عائشة رضي الله عنها siwak min akhiha, so she took the siwak from her brother. وقصت رأس siwak, and she cut the head of the siwak. وَنَقَدَتِ لَهُ رَأْسًا, and she made it softer, and then she gave it to Prophet ﷺ, and he did the siwak. So what do we benefit? Prophet is about, like Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu was dying. Okay, a man came to the room, and he had isbal, his trouser was below the ankle. He's not worrying about his death, Umar radiallahu anhu, which is the greater, isn't it? Then he said, "Ya akhi, lift your trouser above your ankle. Put it above you." So that's more important. Subhanallah. The Prophet ﷺ, he is about to die, alayhi salam, and he saw miswak. He forgot about the pain that he's going through, because he's something more beloved, miswak. And he took the miswak and he did what he did. And that's the story behind this hadith. Show the importance of siwak, and we should use the miswak, inshallah. It's sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Some says wajib, they use the hadith of alayka bis siwak. Ibn Qudama brings the hadith. He discusses. He says, based on this hadith, the Zahirun, those who take apparent meaning, literal meaning, Ibn Hazm and Dawood, they said, it is wajib on you to use the siwak. Because alaykum bis siwak, upon you to use the siwak. And the alaykum mean wujub. So they say you have to use siwak. So Ibn Qudama explains it. He said, this alaykum here doesn't mean wajib, it is hath. Okay, had. It's encouragement for you to use siwak. Why? Because the Hadith in Bukhari and Muslim clearly says, if it was a mashaqqa, then I would have made it wajib. So that shows it is not wajib, it is mustahab. It's highly recommended for us to use miswak, inshallah. So it's for brothers and sisters, everyone should use it. Then Ibn Qudama brings the hadith that Aisha would use siwak of the Prophet ﷺ, and she would wash and give it back to Rasulullah ﷺ. So it is also allowed like this, but not in the masajid. You go to the masajid, they put long miswak on the near the tap, and everybody is using it. La. It's not for any man to use it. Between the husband and wife, they can use it, inshallah. Tayyib, Ali and Fatima also. So between the husband and wife, couples, not any man comes into the masjid. I've seen it, ikhwan. I've seen it. One after another, just using one miswak. Allah, I'm looking at them, subhanAllah. This is not right. Can't be right. So Prophet and Aisha used it, alhamdulillah. So siwak for everyone, male and female. And we should practice this, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Any question, I'll take it now. Any clarification? Inshallah. Go on, akhi.
There's 3 levels.
Mashaqqa, I said 2. Mashaqqa is ma'a darar. Mashaqqa with harm. Darar is life and death situation, I'm saying, and calamities that falls upon the person. That's part of mashaqqa. And this mashaqqa is that then we mentioned some of the qa'idah, the principles, that al-mashaqqa tajlibu taysir, burden brings ease. So if someone is in this life and death situation, that's mashaqqa, it's burden, difficulty. So in that situation, he's allowed to eat or drink to save his life, because saving his life is greater than this haram is doing. So the reason I'm saying is that because mashaqqa, burden, changes the ahkam of shari'iyah. So everyone hukum is not same. If you're a traveler, he's not a traveler, your salah is not same. You can combine, he can't combine, but you can shorten it. You can shorten it because you're a musafir. Okay? If you are ill, you don't fast month of Ramadan, but he needs to fast because he's not ill. Understand? So mashaqqa, burden, changes the situation of human life. Mashaqqa, burden, changes the ruling of individual worship. It changes. Like when you pray here 5 times a day, it's not same as when you're in battlefield. Jihad, you pray different, not like this. You pray, fight and pray. You pray while you're standing, you're walking. Okay? So mashaqqa change people's hal, situation. So it's important to know mashaqqa. That's why the qa'idah, the principle is that mashaqqa tajlibu taysir. Burden brings ease. Okay? Hukum changes. So that's what Prophet said that because of mashaqqa, difficulty, I did not make wajib on you to use siwak. And this mashaqqa is not darar. It's not life-saving or fear. It's just burden. Just because of burden, Prophet said, no, it's not wajib on you. Do it. If you use it, if you don't use it, don't use it. Yeah. So that's the first one. And the second one is mashaqqa bil haraj. Haraj is not a life-saving situation. It's not a fear. It's just difficulty. Like I gave you example, praying 5 times a day. 5 times a day praying is mashaqqa, it's haraj, it's difficult. Coming to the masjid, making wudu, getting for fajr. Don't you think Allah doesn't know that getting for fajr is not difficult? It's difficult. Allah knows that. And following the command, leaving the haram, it's not easy, it's difficult. That's what the hadith said, that Jannah is surrounded by difficulties. Because you see this, because you lived your life doing what Allah has commanded you to do, and you left what Allah made haram. And you're going to see this result in Jannah. That's what you have left. Now you're rejoicing in Jannah, but you're surrounded with the difficulties, because that's the difficulty you had in dunya. But you're not going to face in Jannah, no. So part of life is mashaqqa, it's difficult, isn't it? But every mashaqqa is not same. So that's why Sheikh Sulaiman Ruhaili also talks about this qa'idah in his usul al-fiqh. He goes, if someone were to get up, like I gave you about the siyam, someone fast month of Ramadan, he's got stomach problem. Can he say, oh, mashaqqa tajlibu taysir, oh, I'm going to break the fast then. Then explain 2-3 pages. Mashaqqa, different level of mashaqqa. Not everyone mashaqqa is same. So we need to understand that. That's why I had to add a bit more. Shanqidi does as well. So I didn't mention last week. Is that clear, yeah? Yeah. Mashaqqa. Go on.
When it comes to cleansing, for example, like after urinating and so on, it's mentioned to do with the left hand, and also with the siwak, scholars mentioned use the left hand. Does it also apply when you're cleaning like utensils?
No. But asking that when we clean ourselves from after when we sinja basically in the toilet, we use the left. Do we use the left for cleaning our utensils? Now that's not applied to that. It's only when you are in the toilet, you clean yourself from toilet, then you use the left. But miswak, some scholars says, khilaf between the ulama, as I've said. There's some say no, it's left, some say it's right, because the hadith of Prophet ﷺ said, وَطُهُورِ وَفِي كُلِّ شَأْنِ, and purification and every matter. So when you are doing miswak, you are purifying yourself, isn't it? You're purifying your mouth, isn't it? So you can use the right. But there's some say no, you're purifying your mouth, but you're purifying what? Najasa. It's not najasa, I won't say it's najasa, but germ, I don't know how you want to say it. So they say, no, use your left. So some of the scholars say, they harmonize the two arguments. They said, okay, if you're gonna wake up for tahajjud, and you wanna do miswak, you're gonna have bad smell, isn't it? Use the left. Okay? But if you're just gonna sitting in the masjid like this brother doing, then you're not doing to clean him out, you're doing it for the pleasure of Allah. You're doing to get the reward from Allah Azza wa Jal. So do with the right hand. That's what they say. Allahu Alam. Because Prophet didn't say he didn't explain it like that. He just said, he likes to use the miswak, but he doesn't explain is he right or left. So the ulama have discussed like that. So that's what it is. Yeah. So, go on, akhi.
Is there anything mentioned about not using the siwak outside?
No, nothing. There are hadith which are Sahih Muslim. Prophet would be outside the masjid or outside the house and he would miswak, then go into the house to his family. So there's nothing specific time, specific place, to use miswak. Use whenever you can, but if you say a walk or something in a city or town, walking down, Oxford Street and need a miswak, it doesn't look nice. Trying not to use these places like that. But generally, then it's not haram. You can use it anywhere. It's nothing to forbid because that is specific. So yeah, but use it in a nice place, inshallah. And so because when the non-Muslim look at you, like look funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any mention of how Prophet held the miswak, or how he did it with like up, down, left, right?
That detail, Allahu alam. This hadith doesn't detail how he used it. I haven't read any hadith, but detail how he used it. Obviously, you hold it with you just hold it as normally you can hold a pen or something like that. But detail the way you're saying, I haven't read any hadith. The brother asking, is there any detailed hadith explains how Prophet hold the miswak and how he used the siwak, left or right, how up and down or across? Now I haven't come across. Actually, that's good. I can look into that, inshallah. But nothing mentioned like this. But maybe
brushing your teeth, you go usually left to right.
Yeah. So nothing. I haven't found anything like that. But let me read on that, inshallah, next week. If I do find, I'll let you know, inshallah.
Yeah. So if a person eats onion and garlic and then he uses mouthwash, then is he allowed to go to the masjid because the mouthwash would not fit?
Yeah, that's okay, as long as the smell is not there. Because Prophet forbade going to the masjid after you eat onion and garlic because of the smell. Smell is very strong, and the longer it stays, the smell changes as well. So if you're going to go to the masjid to pray, and because of your smell, the musalloon cannot concentrate because of your smell, then you're harming them. So this لا من أكل ثوم والبصل لا يقربن. Look, whoever eat garlic or onion, لا يقربن. You know what? Grammatically, to emphasize. لا يقري, nahi, nun tawkid, emphasizing it. He's emphasizing the prohibitions, basically. So definitely don't go to the masjid. So this is haram, tahrim. So because of the harm you're going to create. So, but if you mouthwash and clean yourself, alhamdulillah, no problem. The smell goes, isn't it? So it's no problem, inshallah.
You mentioned not to use it in like Oxford Street or the miswak.
I'm just giving examples, yeah.
But are we not like meant to differentiate ourselves between the non-Muslims, and are we not meant to be strangers in front of them? So how do you
Okay, but the thing, can we not use miswak in Oxford Street because we should differentiate ourselves from Muslims and non-Muslims? Well, we are doing that, alhamdulillah. We have it, but you can use it. It's not use haram. It just something they get put off, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. It get put off. Okay, you can do it. I wouldn't do it because they will get put off. Subhanallah. And but I mean, you don't have to use that to differentiate yourself from them. We got beard, alhamdulillah. We have the adab and the etiquette of everything. So we are showing our differences, but to use miswak, Allah alam. I would say someone uses it falling into sin, but I would not use it anyway. Jazakumullah khair. Good.
And you mentioned the qaida about the
al-mashaqqa tajlibu at-taysir.
And how can you apply, or is there any other qaida when you differentiating in haja and daruriyya? You said sometimes daruriyya brings mashaqqa.
Okay, mashaqqa. When you say mashaqqa, but they're saying that the principle I've mentioned that the burden brings ease. This is a principle that scholars use to derive evidences. With that principle, can I use another principle that necessity makes haram into halal? Necessity, it does. with that comes in there as well. Like I gave you mashaqqa of the, if you in a situation, in a life and death situation, okay, that's a mashaqqa. Now you can, that within that qaida comes in as well. Ad-daruriyat tubil mahzurat, isn't it? So if you're gonna drink alcohol to save your life, you can say mashaqqa tajlub taysir, isn't it? Yeah. At the same time, you can say that ad-daruriyat tubil mahzurat, that necessity makes mahzurat haram halal for me to save my life.
So can you apply that situation into the people who say there's necessity to buy a house? Because
I gave example, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the sheikhs said that you have to distinguish between necessity and need. Okay, a lot of people, they make mistake. They think I'm in necessity. But if you study the necessity, definition of necessity and need, two different things. As far as I know, in this country, the people work in the council, they say we can give you a house even if you have 10 kids. We can. But if someone has a big family, mashallah, and he lives in a situation, he lives in a place where his family is threatened and they get abused, physically abused, then this is a necessity that he need to come out from this problem, buy a house and go somewhere the Muslim lives. Then you necessity, isn't it?
In that situation,
it's a necessity, isn't it?
Which is haram.
No, it's out of necessity. Necessity, yeah. Like he lives in a place where there's no non-Muslims, no Muslims, and his family is in danger. Okay. He took all the venues and he can't get the house, and the council cannot give him the house.
What about if there's an alternative that you can rent?
Everything. You take all the venues, rent, council, everything. Nothing, he couldn't get a house. I'm just giving an example. And based on his situation, he feels my family is going to get beaten and threatened physically, verbally, and it's not safe for my family to live here. Some opinion says, just get a house, just to live. For greater maslaha, to buy one house and go. That's it. Yeah, that's what it is. But most of the cases could be haja. It's a need. It's not a daruriya. Allah alam.
So there's no, there's no like a qaida to look to differentiate between the when things become haja.
Haja is something that you can fall back into. So you in difficulties, but you can fall back into something. For example, you in difficulties, but you can get your friend house or something like that. Something you can go back to. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Come on, bro. I've got a house. You can see bed. We can take it. Okay. I've got something to fall back to, isn't it? Yeah. I've got relative. Yeah. Something like that. So that's the difference. Yeah. Go on.
I don't want that. So, like, for example, like another thing to fall back to. Let's say, he has the option to buy a house rented, get a house rented. It's a bit more expensive, but it's still within his
budget
means. So that wouldn't be darura.
No. Brother saying if someone can rent a house, but it be expensive, but it's in his budget, then it's not daruri. It's not daruri. Take the rent.
You should take the rent. Go for the
mortgage. Look. I know people in bought house in mortgage, yeah. And it's punishment, subhanallah. It's difficult, They buy a house in a mortgage, so the council wants to refurbish the house, the whole building. They say, okay, we're going to refurbish the whole building, every windows, stairs, everything. So those people who bought these houses, we are charging them 20 grand. Happened in my building as well. The people who got the house, they were charged. They say, give us this amount of money, you bought the house, your house. Those in council, they don't pay anything. You bought your house, give us the money, we're going to renovate your room, do everything. And you have to. You have no choice. So give us money, 15 grand, 12 grand, whatever. We'll give you the amount. And they have to pay. Akhi, 20 grand, 15 grand, who are you going to get it from? Punishment, akhi. A'udhu billah. Look at that. You bought a house, and look at yourself now.
You have to get another mortgage just to pay it.
Another mortgage. A'udhu billah. So, Ikhwan, if you realize dunya is short, Jannah, we get the house, no mortgage, no mortgage, akhi. You don't have to pay any mortgage in Jannah. So yeah, don't take that path. A'udhu billah. Anyway, khalas.
Somebody has one question.
Oh.
Someone asked, over the 23 years of revelation, it's not to do the topic. Some verses may have been lost, as the Sahabas who memorized it were lost in battle, were died in battle. How would you respond to this? Over the 23 years of revelation, some of the verses may have been lost as the Sahabas who memorized it died in battle. How would you respond to this?
No, Sahabas, okay, this from sister.
No, a brother.
Let me read it loudly. Say it loud, say it.
It was over the 23 years of revelation, some verses may have been lost as the Sahabas who memorized it passed away in battle.
Okay, you know the Quran, when it was compiled, you know, after the war against Musaylima, I know he came to be Prophet, Yadullah. So Prophet died anyway, Abu Bakr ibn Khalifa, he got army and he destroyed them. Lot of army died from the Sahabas, Huffaz, okay? Now, they buried. Umar became worried. He said, look, we have Huffaz died, we have some Huffaz. Why do we get the Quran together? And they had Huffaz who knew the whole Quran. And they got together and alhamdulillah, they put the Quran together. So nothing been lost, nothing been reported for him to say the verses were lost. Nothing was lost. Nothing was lost. So they compiled it. Abu Bakr, Umar, Zayd bin Thabit, Ubay bin Ka'ab, the great Qurra, they came together. And if someone is a Hafiz and he reads the Quran, he can tell you the verse missing, not missing, isn't it? He said, no, there's nothing missing. Ubay bin Ka'ab, Imam of Qurra, he was, alhamdulillah, they agreed, everything we have it, khalas. So for someone to say, we lost, there was lost some verses, but there's nothing report, you can't say that because ilmul ghayb, we don't have it, knowledge of that. Nothing to say something, a verse been lost. So what we have in front of us, the Quran, is the whole Quran, inshallah. So to accuse, to say the verse might be missing, then you need evidence for that. So, so khalas, nothing been lost. What we have is the whole Quran to us. Yeah. And Allah will protect this book. And He protected it. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.